Coach, with Chris, did you see anything in the first half with him?
I just saw him laboring for a second, and when he wouldn't look at me, I kind of knew something was up. And then when he finally did look at me, he needed a sub, and so I just didn't have to put two and two together. I knew something was up.
Was there, Landry had mentioned after the last game on how I guess you made a reference point to Golden State going through a similar stretch last year. I think it was 9 out of 11. This is similar, it's like 8 out of 9. I mean, it's one thing to know that, but isn't it tougher to go
It's
through?
definitely tough to go through it. I mean, you can't sugarcoat that. It hurts to play as hard as we've played, but keep losing guys in the midst of, a tough stretch of basketball. We felt like the away trip over the Christmas break was going to be a big time trip for us to bond and to grow as a team because we were gone so long. And we had to grow a different way. We had to go through adversity and stress and some tough losses. So we can make comparisons to that, but we got to get whole at some point so that we can start to get some continuity. But the analogy is something that we can look at and say, it's never over. And if you think about everything we've been through, we're still 500. We just want to win one. Our guys are hurting to win a game, and that's where, as a coach, you just feel bad for those guys because you know how hard we're playing and how bad they want it.
What was the biggest struggle you feel like offensively tonight? I mean, obviously making this is one thing, but
Missed a ton of shots. I mean, we didn't generate enough threes. I thought we didn't take advantage of DA's ability to get the small on him. We did a little bit late, but we didn't attack the paint as much as I thought we could. Tonight I got to look at the opportunities and show the guys, because when we did attack the paint, we saw either we got to the rim or we got shots on the backside, but we did miss. We were only 6 for 23 and didn't shoot a great percentage from two. We did get to the free throw line, which is not something that we're accustomed to, especially this season. But I got to look at the film to really make a declaration about that.
Seemed like you guys were able to make a concerted effort of finding DA and getting him lots of touches. What did you see from him?
Well, probably could have gotten him more early. They did a really good job of pushing him up the lane, and then they had a weak side defender, so they just did a really good job of crowding the paint. I thought our guys couldn't see clearly that when the paint was crowded, the backside three was open. But I thought he did a good job of being patient. He didn't get frustrated with the physicality or them having 2 or 3 guys around him tonight.
And Mikhail, it looked like he was laboring, struggling with the shot again, but also getting downhill and getting to the
Yeah, he got to the line 10 times, so that's a plus. And he had 7 assists. So when you're not shooting the ball well, you want to see a guy contribute in different ways, and that's what he did tonight.
Monty, you mentioned the fight. How'd you like it? So many times a moment like Chris not coming back in the second half can deflate the team, but you guys stuck with it. How'd you like that?
Yeah, it's what we love about our group. We come to the gym every day with that mentality, and we have confidence in our game plans. We have confidence in the work. It is deflating when guys keep going down, but I saw the huddle when I was out there talking to the coaches. The guys were like this, and that's what I told them. I started quoting Teddy Roosevelt about the man in the arena. That's who matters, and it's during these moments when you have to go like this, and I saw that from our group tonight.
You saw the bench just get really involved in the third quarter, like you said. It's just apparent how much the guys really want just one of those wins right now. Do you get that sense from the group?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just the wins. I think they want to see each other play well. When guys go down, the bench is up to lift them up verbally, or if they're close to the bench, they go pick them up. We bring in good guys here, and they understand how hard it is to play in this league. They understand. Some of our guys understand what it's like to go through a stretch like this, and so you need that togetherness and connection during times like this.
What was Chris's injury specifically, and What's his prognosis at this point?
I don't have any reports on Chris right now. We'll find out more once he gets an evaluation.
But the injury, what did he have?
We don't know right
You
now.
don't know?
No.
Coach, there was, the last play that Aiden Butler got the tip, what was the other option off of that? I know like it was a concerted effort to try to get
Yeah,
him the ball.
trying to get it to DA so we can just run a misdirection and get Landry or McHale for a three. Just couldn't inbound the ball. And personally, I think you have to look at that because it looked like both guys touched the ball. I don't know why we didn't get a review of that play, but yeah, that's it.
Cause in the final 2 minutes, so that should be
If there's any gray area, you should be able to look at it. And we weren't afforded that, so that's it.
What do you make of, Dwayne stepping up for Chris and being out?
He has to, I'm sure he wants to shoot it a bit better, but he was aggressive. He got to the paint more than anybody else did tonight, so that was a plus for him. But we're gonna need him. He's a guy that can not only score the ball, but he's got quickness, he's got toughness, and like I said, we're gonna need him.
I mean, aside from the shooting, he seems like he's getting more comfortable and getting the ball out. He had, team high for assists or match with McHale tonight. So
Yeah, that's what he has to do, to manage the team and manage the ball when we have it. He's getting much better in 2-for-1 situations, understanding what we're looking for. Again, I thought he did a good job of getting to the paint.
How'd you feel about?
Last one.
Oh, thanks. How'd you feel about how the defense scrambled the whole game? Despite not being able to make any shots all game, it seemed like the defense really just stayed in it.
Yeah, I mean, we gave up some threes, doubling Jimmy, and he was beating us with the pass. And then after that, we did a good job of just guarding him one-on-one, taking away some of the threes. The last few threes they got, one was Oladipo off the dribble. Strus made a backdoor cut on D. Lee and got an and-one three. But outside of that, I thought we did a much better job. But the scrambling early in the game was there. They just hit some tough shots.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.